coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Seattle Seahawks and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Godden alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like two losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Seahawks, they come off a good win in the opener on the road, and they get a second road game here.
Yeah, the schedule makers didn't really do them any favors, but if they can win here and get to 2-0 on the road, they could be well set up for the rest of the year.
The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And a glance at the tall signal caller, standing 6'6".
And I liked what his head coach told us about him this week, that no matter what happens, whether he throws 7 interceptions or 7 touchdown passes, he's the same assertive leader in the huddle on each and every play. He can throw the 7 interceptions, just blame the football, blame anything else, and still carry himself like he is the man.
It's like you, assertive in our production meetings.
Well, especially when we're talking about ordering dinner, ordering some snacks.
I was just going to say.
That's where I go.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Here's the offense, and sometimes you got to show love to the big guys.
That you do, and we're talking about Jason Kelce now, not Travis, his brother, who plays tight end. Jason lines up at center, a threat to go to the Pro Bowl each and every year.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Under 10, 10.
Now the first carry here for Phillip Lindsay. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Let's take a glance now at the starting defense for Seattle. They're a unit that struggled some against the run, no doubt, coming in 25th out of 32 teams.
Well, there wasn't anything wrong with them on that play, was there? Able to make a nice stop, held them to no gain. The key to their defense, though, is exactly what the defensive coordinator told you and I. They've got to be consistent.
Back.
Ready. On 3rd down, Herbert. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff, you got to go and make the tackle right away. That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And following that punt, which turned out as well as it possibly could have, this offense has 99 yards to go to the other end zone.
And the defense is frothing at the mouth with a chance to get points themselves. If they tackle a runner in the end zone, safety. And if there's a holding call in the end zone, that's also a safety as well. So either way you decide to go on offense, you've got to be careful.
Now Wilson back into his end zone. And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. Just like that, a pickup of 20 on their first play from scrimmage.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Now they can breathe a little easier, some room to operate as they've got it 1st and 10 now out past the 20. A first carry for the converted wideout, J.D. McKissick. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers putting their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Wilson running left on the ouch. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. He had the option there, decided to keep it, exposed himself and fumbled it.
Yeah, and you worry about the hits he's going to take in that situation. In this case, not only does he take the hit, he coughs the ball up, as you noted.
And coming out now, the Broncos. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. It may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again, Herbert. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. And he's taken down inside the 30. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different...
And 3.
Did you get the same feeling? They've taken care of that early. Play before the blocking, full blocking. That was a really...
Seahawks on 3rd down.
For the score.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. The kickoff, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You'd better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation in there. The defense, he'll be brought down by the the Broncos. It's a sack. Von Miller doing what he does best with a sack. And when you go 5 wide like they just did there, you can't really max protect, can you?
No, you cannot. What you're hoping is that by going 5 wide, you're forcing the defense into coverage. And if you do that, you got a chance to find some people downfield. But if they audible themselves and go into a blitz, then it's got to happen right now.
Or
very
lights
quickly,
out.
Or exactly right. Turn them out. That play's over.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And the Broncos take over. First down and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out first and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here first and 10.
Go.
On first down, Herbert. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Off the play fake. Herbert. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack.
Ready? 8, read. Right there, 54 Mike. Hey. Chance.
To throw on third down. Herbert, he'll find Lindsey here. And he'll only get this to the 47. He needed a few more yards to pick up the first. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Brian Anger now as he'll punt it away for the second time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. That's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
From the 22, here's second and 8. They go read option with Wilson. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down. And you hear it all the time, but that's one of the dangers of the blitz. You get past that first wave, nobody else is there.
And when teams blitz, what they're trying to do is make you lose your poise, lose your timing and your tempo. But when you hold it together, you can really hurt them the other way, getting past that first wave.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for first and 10. Now Wilson. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain followed by a sizable loss here.
Hindsight is 20/20, partner. Maybe they should have kept it on the ground again.
Well, it almost looked like the O-line was run blocking again. I mean, they opened up a big hole last time. This time they opened up a hole, and the quarterback got sacked. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16.
Here we go.
And he'll lose lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up third down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Really in a hole here, 3rd and 17 following the 2 negative plays.
47's the mic. 47.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Over the middle, it's complete. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Needed more than 3, but that's all they got. And it's 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
After 7-0 on EA Sports. 2nd quarter about to begin from Denver. It's the Broncos in possession of the football as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up.
On the double. 41 Mike, right here. 41 Mike. Record. Sponge. No, get it.
And he will lose yardage here back to his own 6. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Off play action. Herbert. He's going to sling this deep downfield. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
So here are the Seahawks ready to take over on offense. They were losers a week ago to the Rams, but they've got the lead right now as they start this drive 1st and 10. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the 1st down run. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing.
And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Looked like it indeed. Here come the flags.
Defense.
So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they march off another 15 against your squad.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Yeah, it's a 4-yard loss. Really sets him back now for 2nd down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, if they get a free shot at the QB, They want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss.
Green 80!
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Wilson. And that is incomplete. He couldn't.
Time there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. And he'll get nothing out of that one.
It's easy one, but it's coming again.
But there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. From the right hash, this from an even 40 yards out. And Myers able to knock it through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces them to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you've got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And the mile-high air in full effect as that's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
On 2nd down, a run with Lindsey. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Come on, set. 18, Gator. Snap.
On 3rd down, Herbert completes it to Fant on the right side. 4th down now after a loss of 2. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you can move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guys, you're energized, executed well, and you caused a lost yardage play. That's going to feel good and look great in film.
That'll be a 44-yard punt. The return goes for 8. It'll be Seahawk football first.